Hey everybody, I'm Son of a Silver Stacker, and you've made it to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. Today's date is the 25th of April, 2025. Now let's get busy with it. Found some really interesting information that you got to know about. But before that, let's do these live spot prices over here at Money Metals. And you know what? Some people are freaking out, losing their minds, Chicken Little all the way here. But I'll tell you, it's just fluctuations left and right. No big deal here, right? We've been around 33, 34 for this whole time. We're still that 100-to-1 ratio. Nothing's really changed. So gold's down 55.40 to 33.0530. Silver down 20 cents to 33.58. Platinum, yeah, look at that. Down 11.60 to 9.8410. Palladium down 15.35 to 9.6930. Dr. Copper down 12 pennies to 4.76 per pound. And look at that. Yeah, you're still paying more than $39 for the American Silver Eagle. So, yeah, the price is still up. For that quantity 1 through 39, $6.89 is still a premium. Now over here, this is the buyback prices to sell to them. 34.84 is definitely above the spot price of 33.58. Now, next stop is going to be coinnews.net. There's an article by Mike Unser dated April 24. That was just yesterday. Title of this article is U.S. Mint Sales 2025. 2020. I'm getting ramped up, and so Jojo, the slow down. Okay, take a deep breath. 2025 proof set reclaims lead. Juliette Gordon low quarters slips. Absolutely. This is a great actual article here from coinnews.net, and it kind of confirms something that I was suspecting. You know, the story of this actual coinnews.net article is the 2025 proof set, and it's the Juliette Gordon low quarters and the American Gold Eagles and the lack of sales for those American Silver Eagles. But if you put it all together, if you look at it in the big picture, oh boy, I found something that you won't even believe. You know, one day a trend does not, well, no, that's not how it says. I'm talking about trends, right? So 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, it's got to be a trend, right? That's exactly what I think I found here, and I got to share it with you. So we first talked about the American Women Quarters silver proof set, and then we talked about the silver proof set. Both of them fell off the mint schedule, okay? Like gonzo, didn't have a season, didn't have a date. And what the odd thing about it is the mint actually had sent an email to folks saying, hey, get ready, here it comes. You got that 2 weeks before it drops, and then nothing, gone. And then just yesterday, or is it 2 days ago now, we see that the United States Mint has reduced, and this is for the first time ever, they have put a production limit on that West Point uncirculated American Silver Eagle at 90,000. Now, looking at these numbers, folks, they all mean something. And what I think I have discovered is that the United States Mint is looking at last year's sales, maybe even the previous years, but definitely last year's, to see how much they should produce for 2025. I think they're governing or capping the sales or the production of their products at last year's sales. And is it the whole year of sales? Probably not. Is it 3/4 of the year? Because, you know, when the United States Mint sells something, the hype is all there in the beginning, you know, for at least the first few months. And then after that, the hype dies down. The Mint has brought out a new product and people move on. Okay. That's the way it works. And so, well, the sales aren't that great after about a month or 2 or 3, right? So what does the Mint do when they got all this product sitting on the shelf? Well, they have to do a little bit of soul searching to figure out what it all means for the future. And I think what that means is, because look, the United States Mint had overproduction, a lot of coins and a lot of metals and all that stuff. And I think that is coming home to roost on them, because they have to, in order to survive, in order to keep things going over there, they have to reduce some of their production, and that's probably going to save them money. And the sad factor is that the silver and the gold, the precious metals over there in the United States Mint, is actually carrying almost every other program at the United States Mint. And what does that mean for the other programs, like the annual sets and the American Innovation Dollars? Well, we're probably going to see another price increase from here. Now, let's get busy with it. I got to show you this. I'm so excited. All right, here, let's get to it. The 2025 proof set climbed past 220,000 to once again lead the United States Mint sales for the week. Now, remember, the total mintage, the stated product limit on the proof set, and which is the first also, is 420,002. That's right, there's an initial 2 going somewhere, not sure where. Meanwhile, rolls and bags with the new Juliette Gordon low quarter moved in the opposite direction. Yes, definitely opposite. 5 U.S. Mint products logged declines, 2 more than the prior week, okay? 1 dipped by only slightly. The low quarter saw the sharpest drop, not unexpected, for the product settling in after release. And I think it's the third week after release. And typically you see it at the second or third week. And we mentioned that in our other videos. And I think it's awesome that they mentioned that's how it happens. It's a behavior. They always revise those numbers. And it's strictly the American Innovation dollars, or typically, and the American Women quarters. Sales of the Juliette Gordon Low quarters fell by 114,460. And really, that's nominal. It's not that big of a deal. How many rolls and bags is that, right? Not a whole lot of, to a new total of 1.8 million issued March 25th. That's about a month now to the date. The coin is the 17th release in the Mint's 4-year series celebrating American women, which wraps up this year. It's incredible how it's over. This is it. What? And then next year, wow, I think a whole lot more people are going to be getting in on that semi-quincentennial celebration for those quarters. It's going to be quite something. And where are the subscriptions for those quarters, please? Yeah, okay, here's the Mint's weekly top sellers. Look at this. The proof set went gonzo, selling 5,204 sets. That is incredible, folks. And then after that, it basically just drops off a cliff. They didn't even sell 1,000 of the Proof American Silver Eagles. Yeah, they're only at 200,000. They just broke the 200,000 threshold. That's not so good. Now, look at this. The third place is the Congratulations set. They're not even at 20,000. And remember, they increased the mintage on that one. Stated product limit to 50,000. Pointless, because they don't even buy that many. And I think it's actually pretty smart that the Mint is doing this new right sizing their sales. Okay, and I think what that means is you only produce is what you sold last year. And what a concept, right? I wonder what businesses do that. Let's go 4. Yep, Proof Marine Corps, and you got to hand it to the Marine Corps 250th anniversary commemoratives. Solid performance still. Number 5 spot is that 2024 Mint set, only sold 328 for a total of 179,660. Remember, they say have a stated product limit of 190,000 on that bad boy. So could there be about 8,000 left or so? Yeah, and that is where the highly coveted P&D nickels can be found in maybe a proof-like state, because in 2024 at PCGS there are some proof-like nickels, and the last time PCGS had proof-like nickels was in 2019, folks. Yeah, it doesn't happen every year, so that's kind of an amazing thing, especially for the 2024 Mint set. Number 6 spots, the 2025 American Women quarters proof set. Last year for that, number 7 is the 2025 Philadelphia American Innovation featuring Michigan. That's right. Number 8 spot. That's the Philadelphia, right? Number 10 is the Denver out of the 25. And really 228 to 256 nominal, folks. It's just these sales numbers aren't here. I showed you the sales that were in 2019, and they were off the charts. I think the average sales was like 15 to 1,800. Yeah, and here we can't even bust 250 here at the midway point, it looks like almost. It's pretty bad. Now, number 9 spot is the Proof Gold Eagle, sold 237. In its latest report, the U.S. Mint published sales data for 545 numismatic products. Of those, 70, now this is where it gets weird, 71 outperformed their prior weekly sales totals, up from 92. Now wait, 71 is up from 90, I don't know. One product saw a week-over-week gain of more than 1,000 units compared to 2 in the earlier period. Now I think it's slowing down a little bit, right? Now, here we go. Here are the sales. These are the numbers, the part I really like, my favorite part. Here's the commemorative coins here. And look at that. I think this is the very first week we have seen the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps actually fall below 1%. And that's the gold coin there. I only sold 2. Could it be that they hadn't, I don't know what's up with that. It's just interesting. 394 of the Proof silver dollars. That's incredible. Almost 1.5% increase. That's incredible. And almost all of them are at still 1% increase month over month. It's incredible. Let's keep on keeping on. Nothing really going on with the Morgan and Peace dollars, but I got to tell you, they are still outselling the American Silver Eagles in quantity. It's just one of those things. And I got to tell you, you're paying the same price for the Morgan and Peace as you do the American Silver Eagle, and you're getting less silver. Does it feel like a want? Maybe not, All right, let's keep on keeping on. We're going to go ahead and go to the next one. That's a clad proof set, sold 5,204. That's definitely an increase, a sizable increase. Right over here, almost a 1% increase for the American Women quarters proof set, 267. And what's interesting, we didn't really see any kind of stated product limit for the American Women quarters proof set. And I don't think we saw any kind of product limit for we did see the proof limit as a stated product limit for the proof set at 420,002. But it's the silver products, and that's what I'm getting to right now. Here we go, folks. this is the 2024 silver proof set, and the sales stand at 170,000. Okay, if you go over here to the next page, oops, that's a proof set, and I did want to show you that 420,000 and two. The next one is a silver proof set. Look at that, 185,000 and two. What's interesting about this is, well, they almost match the sales, the current sales, and it doesn't stop there, folks, because check this out. Here we have the American Women Quarters silver proof set. Sales are at 34,334. Well, look at this. They capped the sales at 34,980 for the American Women Quarters 2025 silver proof set. So two instances right there where we have sales that have been capped for this year that match last year's where we kind of stand right now. But like I said in the beginning of the video, you know, one day a trend doesn't make, 2 days a trend doesn't, but three, yeah, that's got to be a trend. And that third one is that West Point uncirculated American Silver Eagle. It's been capped at 90,000. I'll show you that here in a second, and we'll compare those to the sales too. All right, U.S. Mint uncirculated sets from 2024. I did talk about that already. Keep on keeping on. Proof and reverse proof silver eagles. Yeah, you total these three up right here, and they still don't match what the Morgan and Peace dollars have totaled for the year. And you could even probably add these too, and it still wouldn't match. All right, here we go. Uncirculated silver eagles. The United States Mint still has these in there on the shelves. 2022, probably loads of them. 2023, same thing. And what is going to happen to all those products? Do you think they're going to sell out what they have, selling 23 a week? Absolutely not. The Mint should probably be considering melting those down, turning them into the comic book metals or what have you. But look at this. The story is that 2024 uncirculated West Point American Silver Eagle, I almost said $50. And the thing is, we don't really know how many bulk options have been sold from the coinnews.net folks, but there are, there have been some sales of the bulk option for 2024, but it's not that sizable, not like this here. And we're still at that 93,000, but check it out, folks. I think I already showed you that one. I think, nope, no, this is it here. American Silver Eagle right there. And that's the uncirculated. And yeah, product limit of 90,000. And I think there's a really good reason for all of this, folks. The new mint director, well, the interim mint director, right? Well, yeah, there's a very good reason. I'll show you that here in a second of what's going down. I think she's actually saving the United States Mint from itself. Yeah, that's right. Now, here we go. Let's keep on keeping on. 2025 Proof American Eagle. This is the gold coins. Look at the sales on that. That is incredible. Bam. Let's see here, 2024 Proof American Eagle gold coins. Yeah, not so much off the shelves as the 2025s. Keep on keeping on. And American Palladium Eagle sold 50 for a 1.23% increase there. American Innovation Dollars featuring the state of Michigan. These are absolutely cool. I love the coins this year. They are some of the best American innovation designs as a whole for the year that we've seen so far in the program. Now, other years have had one or two designs that have been amazing, but this year in particular stands out amongst all the others. Look at the sales on that. And could we see a revision of the numbers like the Juliette Gordon-Low quarters are talking about? Absolutely. 2025 American Innovation Dollars for Arkansas. Those are still selling. I highlighted those, even though it's not exactly 1%, but it's close enough, good enough for me. And that is incredible. Look at the sales. Okay, so this is the Michigan Innovation Dollar, 7,761. Compare that to the Arkansas, 7,025. Okay, so that kind of gives me an indication that these are going to be revised. Look at this, 7,004 compared to 6,500. I don't think so. 3,200 compared to 2,800, not so much. And then 2,285 to 1,774. Probably not going to happen, right? Look at these innovation dollars from Missouri, 78.38 compared to 77.61. They're probably going to drop just like the Juliette Gordon-Low quarters. And we'll check that out right now, actually. Unless there's something in between here and there. Could be the Native American dollars, actually. Man, look at all these coins. You can't get those anymore. Yep, this is the Native American dollar rolls. They are from 2025, and they are seeing some sales, but not a whole lot of. Not like last year. They really aren't. Kennedy half dollars, look at that. Somebody's buying up those P&D bags from 2024. And there are the low quarter revisions right there. So we almost have 3% there, 8.1%, 8.1% there, 6.3, 6.1 there. Yeah, and that's typically what we see for the American Innovation Dollars and the American Women Quarters. They just seem to drop, right? But look at this. Although we dropped 644 for the Juliette Gordon-Low quarter, it stands still at 98.64, Well, we're at 98.44 for the Ida B. Wells quarter. So I got to say, those sales for the Juliette Gordon Low are still strong, even though we saw a decrease, well, a precipitous decrease at that. That's incredible, folks. I got to tell you, it's an interesting time to be a person who collects from the United States Mint. We're really lucky, actually. And let me break it down here for you. This is Kristie McNally. She's the acting director, and I think she's the exact reason why we're seeing the United States Mint cut their production on their silver and some other items. I mean, I think she really is trying to save money and do some cost reduction. It's got to be. You know, the last Mint director was an HR specialist. Now, check out what I found about Kristie McNally, and you won't even believe it. I was like, what? Yeah. I'll leave this a link for this in the description. You can check it out. But I wanted to talk about the highlight stuff. Now, she says she has an extensive career in federal service, beginning in 2001 as an accountant with the Federal Prison Industries, FBI, at the Federal Correctional Institution in Milan, Michigan, where she supervised inmates performing accounting duties while fulfilling obligations as a correctional officer. And I thought to myself, boy, I'd hate to lose the decimal points 2 weeks ago and have her on me. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. But no, I don't know. She seems like a really cool person. It's a great photograph. I think she'd be really cool to hang out with. It says here, she is, in 2005, she was transferred to FBI's central office in Washington, D.C., where she held several positions, including operating accountant, right there, industrial specialist, chief of corporate reporting, and DCFO. All right. I don't even know what that means. Chief Financial Officer. I don't even know. Kristie is a graduate of the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center and served 13 years as a federal law enforcement officer before joining the Mint. Now, having graduated cum laude from Northwood University with a Bachelor of Business Administration with dual majors, in banking and finance and management, she has a strong educational background. She completed the Senior Executive Fellows Program at Harvard Kennedy School in Executive Education and Leadership for Democratic Society at the Federal Executive Institute. I think most of the people who work in federal, they have to take that. I think Miss Ventures Gibson did as well. But check this out. This is where it really gets awesome, I think. And received an Executive Women Leadership Certificate through Cornell University. And I love this, oh, by the way, thing right here. She's Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certified. And I was like, well, what's that all about? I had to know, you know me. And then she lives in Spotsylvania, Pennsylvania, or Virginia, which is, I think, in Fairfax. I would not want to live there. That's a terrible commute. There's too much construction, too many hills. But at least they do have the toll road, I guess. All right, here we go. This is Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certified. That's a mouthful, right? What it is, it validates an individual's knowledge and skills in process improvement. What? I think the Mint might need that, particularly in using Lean Six Sigma methodologies. It demonstrates the ability to apply tools and techniques to analyze and improve processes, reduce waste, and improve overall efficiency. What? Wow. Maybe that's already been implemented at the United States Mint, and she just has to sit back and watch it all happen, or maybe not, right? I think what's interesting here, the key aspects of Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification. Whew, it's a mouthful every time I say that. It says, are trained to identify and address issues within processes using tools like DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control framework, data analysis and interpretation. That's huge by looking at, I mean, that's what we do over here, looking at those coinnews.nets when they compile the Mint sales, right? They collect, analyze, interpret data to understand the process of variability and identify root causes of problems. Yeah, the lack of sales and your high prices. I think I found out. It's pretty easy. Lean principles. Green belts are familiar with lean principles such as value stream mapping, waste reduction, and continuous improvement. Yeah, you can always improve, like character, right? Character counts. Team leadership. They can lead small to medium-sized Lean Six Sigma project and contribute to larger initiatives. And I think what that does here, here's the benefits. This is what it all boils down to. Why do they do it? For this, making here improvements, right? Helps individuals, organizations achieve better efficiency and effectiveness. Provides structured approach to identify and solve problems, leading to better outcomes. Remember, better questions get better answers, right? Now, let's go to the plus ones. I've yammered for way too long, but that's it. I hope the Mint gets it all together. Speaking of getting it together, this is about charity. Now, he who lengthens the life of a poor man through charity will have his own life lengthened when his time to die comes. Now, speaking of which, let's bounce over here to 395 99.9 KOI Coin News Radio. This is The End by The Doors. That's right. That's Jim. Robbie, not sure the other, Anyway, I can't even remember the other guys' names, and I totally knew them all. Well, I won't even try. I'll sit here going the whole like 5 minutes and I'll get nowhere. Now, with that said, I want to thank y'all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you're going to see, sub the channel. It's absolutely free. And I think that's it. Stacker out.